Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to another edition of Technology Expresso Cafe Radio. Dave and Jacqueline bring you up close and personal to the innovators, contributors, and creative minds in and around technology today. Visit our website portal at www.technologyexpresso.com. There you will find a full list of our broadcasts from all across the technology spectrum, our social media handles, and related content. So sit back with Dave and Jacqueline as they serve up Technology Expresso, fast, hot, and intense.
And hello, this is Jacqueline Sanders Blackman here with another episode of Technology Expresso Radio. Today we've got a full feature with a special guest, Barb Carkenord. Hello, Barb.
Hey, Jacqueline. I'm happy to be here. How are you?
Oh, just awesome. I am so jazzed. I am so energized and looking forward to having you back. You've been here at Technology Expresso before. So this is the first for 2017, so I'm so excited. And let me introduce Barb to our audience. Barb, first of all, I'm so excited because she kind of represents not only women in business as a business owner, but also women in STEM. She has and works and operates in the technology and software development and design arena, doing things in business analysis. She's been a key component to actually helping mature the discipline of business analysis, being a part of developing the IIBA and the BA-BOC guide that we use and is part of our guiding principles as business analysts. And so it's just been a pleasure. And then, the other hat she wears is that she's also a published author. She has at least 3 books, and she's probably going to update me and tell me that she has even more than that, but 7 Steps to Mastering Business Analysis, and she's wrote and published different prep guides for the CBAP exam and the CCBA exam, and then also managing business analysis. So, Barb has been, a force to be reckoned with, I dare say, in the BA community. And, I look at Barb as she's what we want to be, a lot of us want to be when we grow up, author, business owner, leader in her own right. And I can't tell you how humble she is and how she's always willing to give and share knowledge. So, Barb, I just needed to say that and just let you know how much we appreciate you.
Jacqueline, thank you. What a wonderful introduction. I hope I live up to all those things that you said. But, yeah, I love what I do, and I think that's probably the key to any of us being successful is really loving what we do.
That awesome, and I'm trying my best to follow that mantra, definitely. So why don't you I gave, the quick version, but there's probably highlights and milestones from your perspective in your career. So maybe take us back as far as you like and kind of walk us through, all of these, the different things that I mentioned here and the accolades that you've received. Why don't you talk about it from your point of view?
Sure, I'd love to, Jacqueline. I feel so fortunate to, I guess, honestly, have been born at the right time from a technology perspective. When I think about how fast technology has evolved and where I started, it's just been a wonderful time period to be in technology, and I think also for women in terms of, again, being able to work in organizations because technology was so new when I got started, and I started actually working in software development at General Motors in Detroit. nobody knew how, or not many people really knew how to write software. So it didn't matter if you were a woman or a man, or you were purple or green or black or blue. They wanted people who wanted to work with technology and were willing to learn. And so I got a great opportunity as an intern there when I was in college, and General Motors gave me opportunities to go through some training and to learn things hands-on, and just give me a really good foundational knowledge that I've continued to use throughout my career. And it was fun. I mean, I guess, as I said earlier, I feel like the key to my success and my personal happiness has been that I love what I do. And I thought that technology was really cool. When I was in high school, I did some data entry, key punch kinds of things as an odd job, and I just thought it was always fun. It was kind of like a toy. And when somebody suggested to me in college that I might actually be able to get a job and play with those toys that I enjoyed so much, I was like, wow, that'd be great. You know, somebody would pay me to play with computers. And I still think technology is fascinating. And really from my career perspective, I started in that technology, and I really think there's a lot of value in doing that, getting some of those hard skills and getting some real technical background. I'm not as technical now. Things have changed much more rapidly, and I moved into, as you mentioned, business analysis, because what I really loved about technology is not just the fact that it can do all these neat things, but that it can support business, and it can help businesses be more effective, efficient, provide higher quality products. And so I've really worked on marrying business needs to that technology, which is, again, just the thing that I've really enjoyed throughout my career.
And I go back to, like you said, is enjoying what you do, and it comes across. And, well, let's talk about, you've actually worn both the corporate hat, and you've also worn the hat as far as owning your own business. So from that unique perspective, maybe you can talk to how those two have their similarities, how you maybe made that crossover, what made you make that crossover, and, just the experience about wearing both hats and how they're similar or different.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I still think about that a lot, because I was really fortunate early in my career. As I mentioned, General Motors, it was a huge company that had a lot of infrastructure and structure and processes and policies. And so I got an opportunity to kind of see how a large organization operates. And it was kind of interesting because as I moved through my career, I went to work for a large mortgage company. And that was where I got an opportunity to see how financial services companies worked. It was a smaller company than General Motors, but still, a pretty good-sized company. And actually, when I tracked my career, I went from these large companies to smaller. Each sort of career jump was to a smaller organization, and what I started to find is that in a smaller organization, although they did not have as much structure and organization, that I was more able to impact change, and I found out that I enjoyed that. And so eventually I got to the point where I was at a relatively small software company, and I thought, shoot, I could do this myself. And I think that the confidence, and I really never started out my career wanting to start my own business. I really thought that working in a corporation and moving up through the ranks was going to be my path. But as I tried some different companies and saw some different situations, and as I said, kind of moved to smaller and smaller places and realized, wow, if you're in a smaller company, you can have more impact. It was kind of natural when I look at it now to say, wow, I could do this. And I did it with some other people, so that helped me make the leap from a corporate environment to my own business. But I do think, and I often tell people in small companies that there's a lot of value in having put some years in at a large company, because you really see that that structure, the good policies. Larger companies have to comply with lots more regulations about how they treat people like they're human resources, so you learn a lot about how to hire and how to manage and develop people. You learn a lot about policies and doing things in just a more sort of rigorous way. In a small business, you don't have those things, but it's really good if you have that knowledge and experience, and then you can figure out, hey, which policies do we need would be worthwhile for our size company, and which ones do we not need. So I do see value in having worked in several different size companies.
So let me just step us over to the next question, which, because I'm kind of trying to let people kind of see, walking in your footsteps, you know, and so I may be taking you back a ways, but my next question is, like, as far as your motivation, when you thought to yourself, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start this business with this group of people, you know, there's a lot of different reasons why, because I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, why they start businesses. But maybe from your perspective, because sometimes where you start out and then now looking back, because, you know, is it just a matter of, was it to make a lot of money? Was it to be famous? Was it to be, you know, change in industry? Like, what were some of the things that really was the motivation that helped you with making that decision that, okay, it's time to go ahead and step out?
I'm really glad you asked that question, Jacqueline, because as you know, I was preparing for our conversation today and thinking this through. One of the things that I would really like to say to people who are thinking about going out on their own or starting their own company is, if you're doing it to make a lot of money, you're probably going to fail. The goal and the mission of an organization should not be simply to make money. And I truly believe that the only reason that you should start a company is that you passionately want to do something that you're for some reason not able to do in another organization. And in my case, that was, I mentioned I was working for a small software company. I was actually in the training department teaching people how to use this software. And I thought the software was fabulous. It was leading edge. It did really neat things. But the way that our company was managing it and the way that they were setting up the training, it didn't facilitate our customers to really get the best use out of it. And there were some unethical business practices, which I really always struggled with in a couple companies that I worked at. And I just looked at it and I thought, geez, I could help companies use this software so much better if I did it my way. Than the way that we're doing it. And as I mentioned, there were some other people, and we all kind of felt that same way. It's like we really wanted to help companies and individuals learn how to use this new technology in a way that would benefit them, and we felt like we were being held back from doing that in the organization we were at. And that's what really prompted us to move out. It wasn't a desire to make a lot of money. It wasn't a desire to be famous. It wasn't a desire, you know, to really, in our case, not even to really invent something new, but to just do something better than it was being done. And, you know, we used to have a joke, one of my partners and I at the beginning, we joked about, well, we're going to see if you can run a company and act and behave ethically and see if you can really make money at it. And I'm very happy to say that you can. And as a matter of fact, some of the people I think who are most successful in the world are extremely ethical, honest people. But if you look at them, you know, you think about a Bill Gates, you know, and he didn't start the company, his Microsoft company, to make a lot of money. He liked playing with computers and he liked developing software. When you look at people that are successful, it's not that they started out, that Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. I mean, he wanted to help people connect in a social way. So, you know, I think the making money piece of it comes if you have a passion and you do something and then you do it well.
Absolutely, and that resonates so well. It's like having a mission. When you have a mission and you feel like you're
right
on a mission, because there's going to be days where you think your income should be at one level and it's not maybe coming as fast as you are, and that's when people get frustrated and then, you know, drop out. pursuing their entrepreneurial, endeavors.
Right.
Whereas when you're on a mission, you're not going to give up that easily because you really believe it, clearly, almost to your soul, to the, within your heart. You really believe that this is something that was meant to be, that you were meant to do, and it's needed. So
yeah, but Jacqueline, then we always have to balance that though with, you might be really passionate about some new widget that you invented, but if nobody wants to buy it, you're not going to be successful either. So you have to sort of balance your passion and what you can offer with what the marketplace is really interested in buying. Because, I say you don't go out wanting to make a lot of money, but you want to make enough money to be able to have a successful company. So you've got to be realistic in looking at your passion, because I have talked to some people that are starting small companies or thinking about it. They're really excited about something. They pitch their idea to me, and I think, I don't know that there's really a market for that. So, you need to listen, and I would say that's why it's good to talk to other people and get a lot of perspectives, because sometimes our passion for what we love doing will blind us to the reality that there may or may not be a market for it. So it is a balancing act to take that step.